and the tab key.
Okay.
And go to places, navigate online. So that's how I work on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and even I check my emails. I like chat with people on Facebook, like all of that.
So there is absolutely no problem in conversing
No problem
with
at all.
people.
It's just a matter of voice, like whatever you guys see, I hear. That's the only difference.
It reads out.
Yeah.
Watching
Exactly.
TV?
Yeah.
It's the same
Watching
thing.
TV, it's like this. Now, you might be thinking, oh my God, how can this guy watch TV? He can only listen because he can only hear. But I always say, I watch TV because always my mind's eye is opened. So, when I watch, I can always imagine, right?
Yes.
I can always imagine. I can always keep my mind's eye opened. So I always call watching TV, I saw this guy, whatever.
Let the mind do the magic. Yeah? And
Yeah.
you have so many imaginations. And I think that's the best thing, even when you read a book or whatever, for us that is, it gives this magical feeling. And I'm sure that when you hear something, just as in the radio, magic follows.
Exactly.
And I think you can actually think more to it when you really listen or watch on that matter. Well, it's time for us to take another commercial break, but do not forget, as we always say, go and like us on our Facebook fan page as well. It's www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. Ishan is going to like it when he goes home today.
Oh yes, that's
morning.
the first thing I'm going to do.
And of course send each other requests, because I'm going to keep in touch with this hero here. We'll be back after a short commercial break. More coming up on Good Morning Sri Lanka on today's episode. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. We've got Ishan Jalill here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Ishan, we were talking about the adventures and since childhood, the paths that you've taken, and the most amazing kind of journeys that you've taken so far, which have led to this moment where you are sitting just next to me.
Exactly.
On our morning show. Yeah. Now tell us, growing up with the loss of eyesight would have been, for anyone to just hear, it would have been very, very difficult. But for you, since childhood, you've made this a strength.
Yes.
And you've molded yourself to be who you are today.
Definitely.
And it has raised you to a standard where we can say, look at this guy, he could be a leader, and he is already a leader. Tell us from the moment, from your childhood up until now, how it has motivated you.
So I'll start from my birth,
Yes.
I was born blind, okay?
Okay.
And those days, when I was born blind, my parents and my entire family, they were shocked, because I was the first time, it was the first time that someone was born blind in my family. So, that was a shock.
Okay.
And my parents and all the relatives, they were trying desperately to, find a cure for my blindness and all of that. And then they realized that, eventually they realized, that there's no cure, but to basically live with it. And now, when they are saying, when they are talking about my childhood, when they look back, now they are saying that they are really proud of me, all the achievements that I have, I have achieved so far, all the things which I achieved so far.
Yeah.
They have really, my achievements have really made my parents, my sister, and my friends and relatives proud. And, talking about my childhood, it was of course a challenge. When I was small, I didn't know what the world is all about, because I can't see. But then again, as I started going to school, as I started getting exposed to the outside world, because initially I didn't know anything, but now I'm getting to know stuff. So when that happened, I realized that I can do many things than the things which I'm doing right now. So even as a child, I was motivated, because I would always say that my blindness is a blessing in disguise. If not for my blindness, I don't know where would I be right now. But because of my blindness, I was motivated to do more and more in whatever field I chose to do.
And to achieve what you've achieved so far.
Exactly.
And more to come. Well, talking about support and motivation, your family plays a huge role, and I think
Definitely.
I saw he is already in the studio, your dad.
Yes,
And
he
I
is.
think when I was talking with you before he walked in, I saw so much of pride in his eyes.
Yes.
Having you as a son doing what you do, and I think he's a
Yes.
very, very proud father.
He
and
is.
he should be very, very proud of you.
He
And
is.
I'm sure that you are proud of him as well. Saying that
Definitely.
he's an amazing father for you, I'm sure.
He's an amazing father. He used to be a sailor those days, but he gave up his job just for me, you know.
Or talking about the parental support and sibling support, Ishan,
Yes.
if you want to clarify on it more.
Because, you know, my father, like, he used to be a sailor, as I told. And, like, after I was born, and, you know, when he realized, okay, my child is going to be a blind child, he gave up his job and he came and he wanted to look after me all the time. And then, like, you know, like, when time went by, he was doing odd jobs and all of that, but he made sure that all the time he's with me. And but now, like, now I'm always getting independence now, even though he